Hi, and welcome to Faith and Flour. I'm Robin. I hope you are having a great start to your week. Spring is well underway where I live here in Central Texas, and with the change of season, I love to reset our home both inside and out with some simple decorating, some spring cleaning, and some plant care. I also have a quick dinner idea along with a grocery haul from Costco in today's video, so if you need a little everyday homemaking encouragement, this video is for you. Also, I have some exciting news to share along with a channel update, so be sure to watch all the way till the end of the video for that. Over the years, I have collected a few faux plant and flower stems that decorate our home pretty much all year. I try to keep them from getting too boring by arranging them into different containers and vases and by moving them from one room to another. It's a little change that probably isn't noticed by anyone but me, but I enjoy playing around with the combinations, and I find that I rarely want to buy new decor because doing this can be just as satisfying. I love tulips, but fresh ones are quite expensive and only look good for about a week if you're lucky. I got these long stem ones a few years ago and love how natural they look and feel. I don't have a link for these, but I just got some very similar ones for our table that you'll see in a little bit from Amazon, so I will link those down in the description box. These hydrangea stems I got from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby several years ago. I think you can probably find them on Amazon as well. And I recently had a few in the kitchen and then a few in the living room. But I want to fill this blue vase with them, and they definitely need more. So I'm going to consolidate them and then use some lamb's ear stems for the vase in the living room. That's the only thing I'll change right now for this console. This subtle change is enough for me for now, and I like how things have been working here, and I'm not ready to change anything. Unless you are new to my channel, you probably are aware of my simple decorating methods. I just have a few key areas where I make some small changes each season. We really like to keep things fairly minimal around here, so I don't like storing extra decor. And I really do enjoy the challenge of using what we have to style areas like our entryway. produce like these peppers fresh for a really long time with my zwilling containers. I also like to buy the large container of hummus from Costco, and after taking out what we'll use for the week, I portion out the rest to freeze in my super cube container. Once frozen, the hummus cubes go into a zwilling bag, and when we want more, I can take out what I want and reseal the bag to keep it for later. This can be applied to so many things, which helps me manage the large quantities that come from Costco for our small family. That I really like to change up each season is this shelf in our kitchen. And while it's clear, I clean it with some Method Wood for Good polish. It's still my favorite because it works great and it has pretty clean ingredients. But I have to confess that the almond smell is probably what keeps me hooked. This Dutch style pitcher with the tulips is here pretty much every spring, but this year I decided to display some pieces from the Royal Dalton Bunnykins collection that were gifts to our boys when they were born. I haven't displayed them for a long time and I've really enjoyed them through Easter, and I'm going to keep them here all spring. The little bunny mug was also a gift. This came from my parents and was from Whittard of Chelsea in London. Last time I showed you how I outfitted our spring table. I made a couple of additions since then, like this resin poured cutting board that Peyton recently made, and I got out some napkin rings that were a wedding gift to just level up the napkins a little bit. I have a pack of 12 of these yellow herringbone pattern napkins that can be switched out whenever they need washing, and they wash beautifully. So we do use them instead of paper napkins most of the time. That is pretty much the extent of my spring decorating, except that we do have something new to add in the living room. We have a new art piece that Peyton collaborated on along with some other co-workers, otherwise known as citizens, at Brookwood in Georgetown, where he works as a special needs adult. They are so incredibly talented, and Each year they have an art auction fundraiser that is amazing. If you'd like more information about Brookwood in Georgetown, I'll have some things linked down in the description box, so be sure to check those out. On to some spring cleaning. This year, I'm just identifying a few things that I don't need to clean all that often, but could use refreshing with the change of season, like the vent filters on our range hood. This time, I'm trying something new. I filled the sink with hot water. I actually boiled about 3 kettles full, and then I just topped it off with some very hot tap water. To that, I added a 1/4 cup of baking soda and a couple of squirts of dishwashing liquid, and then let the filter soak for about 10 minutes. I think you can probably use any dish soap that you like, but I have some Dawn for making a deskunking solution for our dog Austin. Do you remember that incident? Anyway, I am prepared for next time. In any case, Dawn is a great grease cutter, so I went with that and it worked better than anything I've ever tried. The grease just melted off and they were squeaky clean with almost no effort. This turned out to be incredibly satisfying and so easy, so this is how I will be cleaning these from now on. Do you notice the blue edging on our filters? I have always suspected that they were covered with something like tape or plastic, but I've never been able to sort of get an edge on that to lift it off, and I was worried that I'd scratch the filters. So they've been there ever since we installed our hood, and soaking them in this hot water solution did the trick of releasing it, and I was able to peel it right off. And that was pretty satisfying too. hood is fresh and ready to go, but I had to hold off on using it while Patrick made a change in our attic, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But it means that for a while I needed to use our oven instead of the stovetop, and so I've been making lots of sheet pan dinners. This week I made one of my favorites because it's easy, foolproof, and delicious. Basically, I toss an onion, whatever root vegetables I have on hand, and on this night it was carrots and potatoes, along with some sausage onto a sheet pan. Drizzle everything with a little oil. I like to use avocado oil, and then sprinkle it with whatever seasoning blend that you like. Toss everything to coat it well, and then bake it in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes, or until the vegetables are soft and caramelized and the sausage is golden. Think of sheet pan dinners like this one as a method. You don't need a recipe. You can use whatever protein and vegetables you have on hand, and you can change out the spices you use to create different flavors. There is minimal prep time and only one pan to clean afterwards, which is easier to clean if you line your baking sheet with parchment paper. Let me know in the comment section your favorite sheet pan combination. So I'll show you quickly what I got at Costco this week. Starting with the produce, I think our Costco has the best produce, and so I've been buying a lot more of our produce from Costco. Sometimes that's a little bit hard because they do come in such big packages, so I was excited to see this, and so hopefully it'll be really good. It's actually a 3-pack. There's 1 pack of asparagus, 1 pack of French green beans, and a packet of Brussels sprouts, which are all a good size, 1 per meal, I would say. And these will be really great roasted in the oven, kind of keeping with my sheet pan dinner meal plan that I'm trying to keep in mind while my vent's not working. And I also got sweet potatoes. Those will keep for a really long time, so I don't mind getting a really big bag. Also the baby spinach, because we can eat this raw, or I can also cook it or freeze it, add it to soups, all kinds of things. These artichokes are so good. This is probably about the 3rd or 4th bag that we've bought. We love artichokes, and these are really high quality ones at a pretty good price because asparagus are so expensive. Also, they're raspberries. These are amazing. This is probably about the 3rd time I've bought those this spring. I love them with our yogurt, like a little yogurt parfait with some granola, and these on top are wonderful. Same for the strawberries. So this is the 2nd pack of strawberries I've bought, and I could smell them on the way home. They smell so good. Peyton loves his apples, and the ones that he really likes right now are the Honey Crisp ones. They're really excellent from Costco. So another pack of those. And grapefruit, because Patrick and I have that for breakfast most every day. And the last one of those we got was really good too. So I'm hoping this one will be also. I got the Daisy cottage cheese and sour cream. And amazingly enough, we do go through those. So I think I can freeze the sour cream if I feel like I need to. But last time I bought this size, we had no trouble going through it because I use that for just so many different things. I love minced onion because I like onion, but not a really strong fresh one lots of times in certain things. So I really like these, and I like that they sell them in this large container. I also got their canned chicken breast. I made some chicken salad, sort of a buffalo chicken salad not long ago recipe that I found online. It wasn't anything super special. It just had some buffalo sauce in it, buffalo chicken sauce, whatever you call it, in it. And I used the one from Primal, I think. It was really good. And I thought that would be great for things like the Airstream. And of course, this is something really great to keep for longer term food storage. Also tuna, because we love our tuna salad. And I'm always stocking up on this. I love their gluten-free sprouted rolled oats. This is what I like using for whenever I make granola. And really anything with oats. If I use oat flour, for instance, to make meatballs or whatever, this is the one that I really like to use. The fact that they're sprouted makes them a little bit, easier for us to digest, and so the nutrients are a little bit more readily available. Plus, of course, these are certified gluten-free, which is great. And also these almond flour crackers that are gluten-free. My mom buys these, and we had some when we were at their place. They're so good. So when we ran out of crackers and things like that, I got these so Peyton can enjoy them, especially with things like tuna salad. And they were having a sale on their vitamins, and I definitely needed to stock up a couple of those things like calcium. And the calcium that I've been taking was not paired with the magnesium, zinc, and D3. So this one has all of that. So I'm going to try that and hopefully take one thing instead of 2 or 3. And the guys also take D3. So this is for them. And we had a little get together with the staff at Brookwood in Georgetown, and we had some tortilla chips and salsa, and we actually got 3 of them. So I just have a couple out to show you what we got, because this was really good salsa. I don't mind that we have some left over, because I think we will have no trouble eating that, or the chips eventually. And I was just about out of parchment paper, and so I got the Kirkland brand, and so hopefully that's good. And so that is what I got at Costco this week. Getting back to why I haven't been able to use our range hood vent, the exhaust used to be on top of the roof, but when the roof was replaced, we decided to relocate it to the side of the house. So Patrick was able to take care of that himself this week. Here on the side, the vent will have more protection in case of another hailstorm, and we really like the way the roof looked without it on top. In this area right below, we have a large planter where I planted some Candula flower seeds, and they are really starting to grow. So I am looking forward to the blooms here soon. And inside, my orchids are doing really well. I know that a lot of you love orchids, and so I thought I'd update you because, as I told you before, they weren't doing very well following our move. I guess they had some shock and they didn't bloom at all last year. But I refreshed their growing medium, which is like bark, not dirt, and I found a sunny location in our home that they really seem to love. So this year, 3 of the 4 of my orchids have flower spikes, and one of those is just about to bloom. Location is key for orchids, in my opinion. They really like a location that gets plenty of sun. Many things that I've read over the years about orchids indicate that they prefer indirect light, but that has not been good advice in my experience. I can get mine to bloom each year as long as they get plenty of sun and that I water them once a week or so, and they can go longer than that when we're on vacation. But I like to saturate them quite well, making sure not to get any water on the leaves and just allow them to drain well before I put them back in their pots. I have been watching these 2 orchids that I have with flower spikes, eagerly awaiting the blooms, and I was so excited to see this week that a 3rd one is putting out a flower spike too. The blooms last for months, so we should have orchid flowers to enjoy for quite a while. Another thing that I look forward to each spring is seeing the hummingbirds, and I caught a glimpse of one of them the other day, so I know they're back, and I mixed up some sugar water and filled our feeder so that we can watch them throughout the spring and summer. We have had this Hummingbird Feeder for years, and I have it in my Amazon store. I'll also make sure to put a link in the description box for you. And I attach it to the window with this suction cup hook. Before I hang it, I really want to clean the windows in the living room. We are right in the middle of what I call pollen season, so everything is covered in yellow pollen outside, including the windows. So we usually wait to do our big spring cleaning of all the windows on the house, both inside and out, when that's over. But it doesn't take much time to clean these, so the hummingbird feeder will stick really well, and we'll get a clear view of the hummingbirds as they come to the feeder, as well as the rest of the backyard, which is all coming back to life after winter. In addition to all of the pollen that's building up, we have loads of catkins from the live oak trees coming down. We like to call them tassels, and they contain the male flowers that shed pollen, and they make a huge mess. Patrick stays on top of the cleanup of these, especially on top of the pool cover where they collect. Hopefully we have just a few more weeks of pollen season to endure, and then we can bring out the cushions, clean the furniture, and hang out on the porch and even eat some meals around the table out here. Did you notice Austin chasing a bee? You should know that's a bad idea from experience, but he just can't seem to resist. Let me know what's happening where you are. I know we have viewers from all over the world, so is there still snow on the ground? Are signs of spring appearing, or do you live in the southern hemisphere so autumn is underway? I'd really love to hear. Thank you for watching all the way till the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you did. And before I leave, I have a couple of sort of announcements for you. The first one is really exciting for us. We are going to be grandparents in early October. Our son Kyle and daughter-in-law Lauren are expecting their first, and we couldn't be more excited about that. And I will, of course, share things along the way in that journey. And that sort of brings me to my next announcement, which is I will be stepping back from YouTube just a little bit, in that I am not going to commit to doing one video per week just during this season. So this is a busy, exciting season for our family. We have a lot of things in the works, including some additional travel this year. So I will share things along the way. But I just feel led to take a little step back from YouTube and devote my time to a few other things. And I certainly hope that you'll understand and that you'll stick with me. And if you haven't already done so, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel and make sure that you activate the bell icon so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. I will try to keep my upload schedule on Sundays. I probably won't do one per week anymore. It'll probably be twice a month, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less, just depending on what time allows. And I really appreciate all of the support that you have given me on my channel. And I hope that you'll stick with me despite a somewhat sporadic schedule coming up. I look forward to talking with you down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. So until then, have a wonderful week.